Good morning, coffee moaners.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you this morning.
Thank you for tolerating our brief hiatus.
Yeah, we didn't do the show yesterday. We were overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed with the horrors of the world. As you know, we're here like 6 days a week with this, not just Saturdays. Obviously, I don't do Saturdays. And it's a lot. It's a lot to watch maniacs in charge of the world that, you know, it's going to impact every one of us. It's a lot over the last 2 years to see the slaughter of so many innocent people. And then now to, you know, pull up our britches to watch it all again in Iran and Lebanon. And your trousers.
They're like, yes, a certain type of breeches.
So, yeah, so yesterday we just said, we're not going to do it.
And thank you.
It was quite hard, actually.
Well, it was quite hard, but also thank you, because of course it came off the back of me sharing a very intense mental health download. Lots of you very lovely messages.
Yeah.
I've not answered any individually as yet, only because to answer one will leave some feeling like, why haven't you answered mine? And it's never about that. But I do want to leave a message and peg it at the top. Thank you for all of your comments. Yes, yesterday was an extension of that for me. Yes, it coincided with the need for both of us to pause for a moment. We did. We felt the support from all of you.
Thank you. So thank you for your lovely messages. What a great community you are. So today.
Well, I mean, today I had such a sort of terror go down my spine over the last, I have had a terror go down my spine over the last 36 hours as I've watched this case of meningitis, this meningitis outbreak in Kent. It has a particular kind of piquancy for me because I'm looking at images here of the Senate building, which I protested outside the front of. It's at my university of Kent. I think one of the victims, one of the two people have died. I think 5 people are in induced comas to look after them. And I know that a young girl or a baby girl has also fallen ill who this is the worrying part, who has herself not been anywhere near Canterbury. So that's a question mark. So one of the cases has come to London. So we're going to talk about that at the front.
And there's a lot on TV, isn't there, about the symptoms and about what to do, but we wanted to talk really more from the position of parents, being parents of, you know, a teenager and our other daughter who's in her early 20s, who's at college. And so we're going to be talking about that very much from a parent's POV.
Yeah, so we're talking about that. We're also going to talk about the fact, massive news yesterday, that in my bipolar funk, I was like, even as I reached through what felt like the silky matte black finish of hell, I reached and I said, but it's such big news. Trump's counter-terrorism chief has resigned. And the reason this is big, he's a Trump fan, he's a Trump man, he's part of the Trump regime, and he's resigned, specifying his reasons being over Iran, Israel's involvement in triggering the war. It's sensational. It's massive news, and it chimes in at the same time that a very senior security expert or official within our government also felt that actually in the negotiations with Iran, things were surprisingly close to an agreement when Israel and America then decided to launch their attack. So we're going to talk about that. It feels like my catch-all for everything around Iran at the moment, it feels a little bit like Trump's being isolated. He's getting more and more isolated. And he must feel really isolated, because the other story we're going to talk about is Benjamin Netanyahu's deep fakes go wild. It's almost like the lady doth protest too much. With every new film I see of him, he looks more and more AI every time I see him.
Yeah. I always thought he looked AI in the first place.
But his fingers have gone funny again.
And I've got some funny videos, haven't I?
Yes.
That local comedian that I've only discovered it. A lot of you already knew him, but I just love him. Love him. 2 of those.
Yes. You sent those through. I'll just need you to paddle for time.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Later. And Elsa Pop, just to answer you, we are thinking around that. So never fear. No, she's just saying, just a thought. If we could sometimes do a lighter coffee moaning, like in COVID times, to give a bit of light relief. Or maybe we need to do an extra one. That may be what we're going to do. So we are talking about it and we're aware of it.
I mean, the coffee moaning is a victim of its own success, really. A lot of people come in now for their news. They come here for an opinion that diverges from the mainstream. I get you, absolutely. I wonder whether it just needs to be something slightly different that isn't coffee moaning now. It's become its own beast.
Or maybe even the last 15 minutes or something. But we are talking about it. That's what we're aware of. But then thank you. Right. So if you have been coming here regularly and you've never hit the subscribe button, why? Because it means you like it. And it doesn't cost you anything. And if you are new, not saying subscribe now, sit with us a bit, see if you like it, and then just hit the subscribe button. And if you're getting anything from the chat, please hit the like button as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with the meningitis.
Reese, you're a journalist now, you can't go back.
I
mean,
but maybe we need to do something extra.
Yeah, but I wonder whether, well, here's another thought about that as well. Something else we've been toying with is the idea of, I was looking at some of our content around the more intense, horrendous moments during the Gaza genocide. Perhaps we do uploads on certain topics, like the breaking news that we would have done yesterday. I was thinking about it yesterday, but it was too bad. But we could have done something on the Trump's terror chief yesterday. So that if some of these topics are dealt with quite rigorously elsewhere, not necessarily live, but uploads for you to watch, for you to comment on, then that takes the pressure off everything being dealt with here. In a sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we're on it.
Yeah,
we're going to have a chat in the sun after this.
So let's talk. Let's really cheer ourselves up, shall we? And talk about meningitis. Meningitis. It's a word that conjures such fear for me. From a young age, I've always thought meningitis sounds frightening. Am I right in thinking? Is it basically right to say it's an inflammation of the brain?
Yeah, but of course it's more complicated than that. I mean, like I said, there's lots on telly, isn't there, about the details of meningitis, and we are neither of us doctors in any way, shape or form. So we thought we'd talk about it more from the parents' point of view. But I did want to just share one thing, because I was just watching John Campbell on it, and he was saying a lot of people, and I would have been like this, get confused and think if there's no rash, it's not meningitis.
Yes.
And that is not the case. You can have meningitis without the rash. And remember the old thing of push a glass, he was showing me.
And slide it.
No, he was just literally just pushing it. You can roll it. And the rash doesn't go. So you know when something goes, it stays. So when you roll it, the rash is still there. That's when he said the bacteria's actually got into the blood. So.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason John Campbell, he was the third wheel in our marriage for a long time during COVID. But then I saw him at Charlie Kirk's. I don't know. The politics of John Campbell are a bit weird.
No, but when you need a fact on things.
Okay, well, look, this is just quite a useful paragraph here that's in one of the many articles throughout many of the papers on the meningitis story. Obviously, if it bleeds, it leads. So the Mail has gone for sheer hysteria, panic stations. They've said things like cases have gone up by a third. That means it's gone from 15 to 20. It's a third, but it's 15 to 20. Anyway, the symptoms of meningitis can develop quite quickly, and they include, though not exclusively, a high temperature, headache, vomiting, a stiff neck, being unable to tolerate bright light. Symptoms of a more severe infection include the rash that does not disappear when a glass is rolled over it or held over it, as well as drowsiness and fits. Urgent medical attention is required if some of these symptoms are present.
And, also I've been listening to lots of things today, and it says things like, well, it can feel like a hangover, it can feel like flu, the headache, and, to act immediately. And I think this is where it becomes a bit more panicky for us, isn't it? Because, well, hang on a minute. Like you say that, and you say, like John Campbell saying, keep your eye on anyone that isn't well. If they start to get a bit drowsy, if they get a bit, my friend Lisa had meningitis years ago, and she knew there was something really wrong. Her headache was so severe. But how many of us really are going to rush to the hospital? It's like, I don't think it's clear when they say that, it needs urgent. And John Campbell was just saying it just needs minutes. Well, when do you cross over from, my kid might have a hangover, or my kid is this flu? If you're saying minutes, that's what I find. Those are the things I find scary.
Well, and that's why I think panic is the order of the day. We're doing this live away from our kids. They're worried. It's being fed to them on social media. Obviously, it's a news story. It's an evolving news story. I think every parent in the land this morning, certainly in the southeast of England, if you're international, this is an outbreak, quite a sizable and quite a sudden outbreak in Kent. Apparently one of the cases has already migrated to France, as in someone went to France and had meningitis and had been in Kent. There is a case that has got to London, who was diagnosed in London and found out in A&E in London. So they are trying to kind of trace the connections between all of them.
And that's the thing now that's frightening your kids. They might not be saying so. Our daughter came home late last night and she was like, oh God, Mum, you know, the college sent us this email, and she's a bit like him. She's a bit of a hypochondriac anyway, isn't she? Just say something and she thinks she's got it. And she was like, oh God, it just feels like COVID again. I said, it's not, darling. Like, just calm down. It's not like COVID. It's not, you know, but we have to recognize that it's going to feel a bit like that. Like some of the photos I've seen this morning with these great long queues of kids with the blue masks on. We always said, we did, didn't we? A couple of months ago, we did on Coffee Moaning. We talked about the fact.
Thank you for your comment, Sarah D. I'm gonna, if you could bring it back up again. It's kind of, sorry, it's past time. Go on.
Yeah. A few months ago, didn't we? We did a Coffee Moaning where we wanted to recognise again that we were just told, oh, that's all over now. You know, COVID's just all over, and we don't talk about it. And we've talked a lot, haven't we, about how young people are living so much with that fear, and it's really impacting on them a lot.
Yeah.
And now with this, we are going to see it. Well, I'm already seeing it in my kids. They're going, but what if it? I mean, they were both just.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's really important what you say. I think one of the things that I found utterly intolerable and still find intolerable in the aftermath of COVID was the rush, was the speed with which everyone was saying, get over it, move on, push on, without, not to kind of mawkishly navel gaze and forever and a day hover over something that was awful in a moment in history. But unless you actually learned something from it, remembered things, lessons from it, took a more cautionary approach to things when things flagged up. What I'm seeing already in our girls, and I think it's a generational thing, and I think we all here, anyone who's an adult with teenage kids or a grandparent, be tolerant, because what I'm already sensing is the PTSD, the post-traumatic stress of what everyone went through then. And whilst this is and it's really important to stress this, guys, it's infinitely harder to contract this than it was COVID. COVID was much more airborne. Yes, the fatality on this potentially is much higher. It's 5 to 10%, but you have to really engage in sharing body fluids.
And they're saying, like, talk to your kids about things like, don't share your vapes. Like we were saying this morning.
Sharing vapes is the major issue.
If anyone's sharing vapes, say no, don't share your drinks. But you're trying to do that without panicking. So like, I'm very much like, you know, just take the extra precautions. It's in Kent at the moment, you know. If it's caught early enough, antibiotics will help. But I just wanted to finish what I was saying with, that Maddie was saying. And I just felt I really felt achy for young people, because she said to me last night, and she went, Mom, we just can't do that again. We just can't do COVID again, where we're all staying, and that really and again, you have to respect that. We mustn't just go, oh, well, don't be silly. It's not that. Go, well, I can, the thing to do is say, well, I understand why you're feeling like that, because that was a huge thing. The pandemic was massive. And also we know somebody that was, we know a couple of people that have had really bad reactions from the vaccines. And so all that fear comes up again, and everybody's talking about that, because of course everyone over 10 has not had this vaccine. Yeah. That's the other thing.
Like Reese says, what we can't do this time is put our heads in the sand. We have to be proactive. And let me just give you another top tip in terms of parenting.
Well, that's why there's a bit of anger about that, isn't there?
One of the top tips in terms of parenting, don't be over dismissive either, because kids aren't stupid. Young adults aren't stupid. If as a parent you walk into the kitchen, which we've done at times, and they know you're bullshitting. If you come in and go, no, don't be so silly, it's all absolutely fine, off you go. They're seeing it come through on every single major news outlet. They're going to know you're bullshitting. So it's not about panicking. It's about just in a measured fashion saying, look, for example, the one single thing I would say to nearly every teenager, just for the short term, is don't share your fucking vapes, and just don't drink out of anyone else's drinks.
Kissing, clubbing, pubs.
Like
Mark actually said this morning, because I'm kind of feeling like we should say to them, like, not to go to the pub, but we're in London.
Just for a week.
We can't do that. We cannot do that. But I think also as adults, we need to just go, I can understand why you're feeling like that. And it is scary. Panic rises a bit. Like you say, those at the Mail and the Telegraph and all these people love to panic us. But it's just, what are the facts? And the facts are at the moment, it's in Kent, and everyone is now alerted.
Yes.
So you are going to be able to get antibiotics. if you've been in contact.
But pharmacies are already in Kent charging upward of £200 to £220 for vaccines. I mean, you know, and
Boots is charging
I just want to share this because late last night, as I was drifting off to sleep listening to Ben Kentish on LBC, a really calm, rational person rang in, and Ben Kentish was a presenter, was sort of asking, why are people so circumspect now around vaccines? Is it just vaccine denial? Is it hysteria? Is it Project 39? Is it policy 42 and all this kind of stuff? Someone rang in and said, look, the government, the pharmaceutical companies and the scientists did not shroud themselves in you know, any kind of dignity or glory during COVID. What we all felt, and certainly after the event with COVID, is that vaccinations and illness and medical treatment became politicized quickly. There was a financial objective and assessment. There were provable lies and exaggerations by pharmaceutical companies, and some scientists felt like they were trotting out political rhetoric rather than scientific rhetoric. And then we had politicians behaving in complete opposition to the guidance and the regulations given to the vast majority of the population. And my worry, if there was a worry with this, isn't a worry actually about meningitis per se. My real worry with this is, for example, because me and Nadia have talked about this, you know, I think a vaccine situation around meningitis B, this strain, whatever this strain is, only people 10 and under have got the vaccination so far. You know, to pause and consider this, everything that was done during COVID has really complicated, for me, the entire vaccination discussion, where when there might be a very compelling argument for there to be a vaccine need here and vaccines needed to help people in this situation, if it were to mushroom and if it were to get bigger. And I have a real worry that if this does get bigger, there'll be an enormous number of people who felt the way the government, the way scientists and the way pharmaceutical companies dealt with COVID will dissuade them from stepping towards it. And this could be one of those situations where it's absolutely crucial that everyone does step towards it. Yeah. And anyway, this guy who rang in said, the one thing they could have done in COVID is remove the profit, remove developing the vaccines
which is
for
what
profit.
AstraZeneca did.
And isn't it interesting that AstraZeneca is the only one that's faded away because it wasn't for profit?
Well, then because, in my opinion, there was, well, I'm not going to say too much but Pfizer for me was a very, I do not trust Pfizer at all from everything that I've learned. And we you know, we both had the vaccine.
We had the AstraZeneca.
We had the AstraZeneca, but all of what I've heard since and what I've seen since, people we know that have had injuries, I'm just going to really look
Happy birthday,
into everything. We are allowed to ask questions.
Sarah Barnes says, those of us that had an adverse reaction to a vaccine were treated appallingly during COVID times. We said this would have an impact on any other rollout, including vaccines that are safe. Thank you. And that is the point.
Exactly. Now, this isn't an mRNA vaccine where a lot of the debate has been around, but we are absolutely within our rights to ask questions. We feel like in many situations, we were lied to. Let's not forget, Boris and his mates were partying all the way through it. You know, if you just take that lie, what I cannot get out of my head is how the government said they could not believe how compliant we all were in the way that we all stayed at home and all of this. So all of this stuff is going to come up. And it's going to come up in young people. I mean, we keep saying young people. Of course, anyone can get meningitis, young, old, newborn. Yeah. But of course, we're all thinking about our kids because this is, you know, because of this outbreak.
Can I share with everyone? A lot of people asking how does it spread, and I've got a very useful kind of paragraph here in it. Can I share this? I just want to write, like most forms of meningitis, MenB is not highly contagious. The infecting organism can live harmlessly in people's noses or throats. According to meningitis, now around 10% of the population carry the meningococcal bacteria in the back of their throat at any one time. This carrier state can last for several months before disappearing. But in this time, these asymptomatic carriers can transmit the illness via droplets through sneezing, coughing, or intimate kissing. In most cases, the carriage of these bacteria does not cause illness, and it is only rarely that the bacteria can overcome the body's defenses and cause meningitis. Meningitis can also be caught from someone else with the illness. Whether the infection takes hold will depend on the susceptibility of the individual. If your immunity is high, you can be in contact with someone who has it or carries it but not get it. So again, you know, basic precautionary measures I'd have thought in terms of keeping fit and keeping healthy.
Keep your vitamin D up, eat well, sleep well, make sure your white blood cells, exercise, all the same things. But yeah, as just from the position of a mum today, it's all about, you know, having those conversations where they're aware of the symptoms. But as I say, I find it a bit confusing when they say if these symptoms come up, get urgent care, at which point. And so even as I was saying that to the girls this morning, I was thinking, what point? I mean, if they came home, so like if our kids, if any of our kids, you as well, came home today and said, oh God, I've got such a headache and I feel really achy all over. Is that what we're supposed to, is that when we're supposed to do something? Do you know what I mean? Or is that just for in Kent at the moment? That's what I'm confused about. I
do think, again, the problem, I mean, it's an unenviable position to be in, because Wes Streeting has made comments about it, has acknowledged it. The Telegraph and various papers are discussing the fact that this is being described as a national health kind of issue. These are some of the headlines this morning. Desperate parents calling pharmacies for meningitis jab as stocks run low. Early signs of deadly meningitis, must know as 2 die, 11 seriously. We'll just run through some of the symptoms. Let me just finish these. Number of meningitis cases rises to 20 as Kent outbreak grows by a third. I mean, that's again, slightly sensationalist headlines. It's emerged that the French Health Ministry notified British officials about a case involving a student who attended the University of Kent and fell ill in France. Number of cases has risen to 20.
The thing is, I saw a doctor this morning, that lovely one. She was a lovely doctor on the telly this morning, and she was saying, you know, if your child is over 10, then, you know, do get in contact with your GP, right, to get the vaccine. And I'm thinking, well, is that the case? Are we really going to be able to just ring our GPs and get the vaccine? Because why are some people paying for it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Is that now changed? Is it now shifted?
Well, that's where I think there does need to be some kind of governmental kind of statement.
Clear statement.
Not a kind of comment in the House of Commons that most people miss because it's boring to think about what they say in the House of Commons. Not just something regional to Canterbury. I think there needs to be some kind of statement as to the nature of it, what people should do in the immediate geographical vicinity, what people should do who are potentially have been in contact with people, and then what should happen in the rest of the country. I mean, I know that one of our girls is the educative establishment she's at. They've issued a letter expressing, you know, for students to be cautious and careful. And, you know, I mean, someone's just said a moment ago, you know, stiff neck and sensitivity to light is a really key symptom, Martina McKeown.
And that's like,
and you're right, Michu, it's not, look, it's really important to stress this, Michu, thank you. I mean, I did say it at the beginning, you might have missed it, Michu, but, you know, that sort of headlining of a third up. Yes. Well, if you had 3 cases and it went to 4, you could say that was a third up, but it's still 4, it's only people. 4. So 15 to 20, yeah, okay, that's not good. You want it always to go down. But a third is a way of making it seem more sizable. Exactly. It's not in any way, shape or form an epidemic.
They're wanting a panic.
Yeah.
But we just want to be clearer so that we can, because it's human to feel a little bit panicked. Yeah, so I think we should read out some comments from anybody else.
Well, a number of people are scared. Claire Wilson, I'm medically compromised, and people who say just live your life without thinking about harming others scare me. Sorry, but we are a community, social species that evolved by taking care of each other.
And that's dreadfully unkind, isn't it? Just to go, you're on your own, kiddo.
Reminds me of all the lies put out by the mainstream media machine during the pandemic. Gabrielle, don't bring out Chris Whitty for God's sake.
God, can you imagine if he's? But remember, it's not pandemic. It's not pandemic.
Steph Schultz, they should give out more info to stop so much panic. I don't watch TV news. Usually, it's people like Dr. Hillary trying to ease people on TV. Some GP surgeries, says Shakir Al-Bad, provide these vaccines and others don't. My family moved surgeries recently because our previous one didn't offer travel vaccinations anymore. Never, Clever Trev, never panic. It doesn't help. It doesn't help anyone or any situation.
But I do think also sometimes, like I remember years ago I did CBT and she said to me, right, now, don't think about pink elephants. Don't think about pink elephants. And then she went to me, so what are you thinking about? I went, pink elephants.
Yeah,
So it's like, you mustn't say don't panic or don't worry or don't think. It's about saying, okay, let's look at this. X, Y, Z, you know, like I was saying to the girls this morning, what are the facts that we know? The facts we know are it's not a pandemic.
Thank you, Dawn.
Yes, it's going to feel like that because you're seeing images that are reminiscent of the pandemic. You know, it is in Kent. We're now alerted to it. So everyone's looking at these symptoms. And she went, but I've got a stiff neck. And I went, no, right, okay, let's clear this up. It's not just a bit of a stiff neck. It has to be, it's really like you can't put your head down. So just have those conversations, you know, with your young people. Because, of course, don't forget social media, just as much as mainstream media, love a panic. They just love a panic.
This has
gets that algorithm all excited.
This has an extra piquancy for me, as I say, though, because it is my college. It's so weird. They're actually going around University of Kent at Canterbury, in its aspiration to be like Cambridge or Oxbridge, has 4 colleges: Keynes, Eliot, Rutherford and Darwin. And they're going around the individual rooms. So I know those rooms well. And they are issuing and they are recommending everyone and finding out if everyone has been vaccinated. And apparently Canterbury Town Centre, I just
at
want
that age.
Well, no, exactly. So they're going around and they're issuing. I think they're issuing it at the actual university.
Okay.
But if you go to Canterbury High Street, apparently it's like COVID-2. Students are saying Canterbury student hangouts left empty by meningitis scare.
So everybody's running back home, and that's the worry, I suppose.
Well, they're running back up to campus. So when you have a campus situation, you could very much, you know, the worry I think with the university could be, I mean, and the thing about the campus in Kent, it's literally on a hill just outside the town.
See that girl out on the road, right, with a blue mask on, that panicked. And it doesn't even spread like that. You have to shed saliva.
She's on her way to Westgate Station.
But look at that fear.
Yeah.
You know, she's got all her stuff about that. That breaks my heart. Imagine that's your daughter just rolling everything around Cobble Street, panicking, running. You know, it's just like.
Must be very. The weird thing about Canterbury as well is it has all the kind of, I've taken you there a couple of times. It has the hallmarks of a very medieval city, because you've got the gates, you've got the wall, and you've got the cathedral. And it's weird. It's easy to imagine the bubonic plague times in Canterbury. So it has that. It's quite a kind of evocative place. I just want to pull up this because I think this is obviously a lot of people will be saying this. The whole thing is staged to see how the population reacts. Judging by some comments, most people have already completely given their emotions away. You know what?
What do you mean, given their emotions?
Yeah, I don't really understand the second part of that. But on the first part of planning and project whatever and all this kind of stuff, I'm not for a minute suggesting that could be the case. I mean, we've had so many things revealed to us over the years. It wouldn't surprise me at all. The nature of this and the way in which it's broken out, I don't think this is a plan. I don't know if it could be harnessed as something by someone, but the way in which this is broken out, I mean, I know that the nightclub in which it broke out in, I think 2,000 students or what have you had been there. It was a big kind of rave event. It was an intense super spreader event. But I mean, it was, I do feel it's
even those words, super
spreader,
it takes me back to COVID. It's like, no.
But the fact that they called it a super spreader event, that means that every large gathering is a super spreader event.
It's like that really shouldn't be used because it's not transmitted in that way.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Like
I don't think this is planned. I don't think I really don't think this is planned. I mean, you know, it take a lot. Someone go in with a vial and drop it. And, you know, I just don't. Not in this instance. I mean, of course, there were huge question marks over where the COVID strain came from. You know, a spill out from some kind of scientific.
If you're just joining, this isn't a pandemic. It's not a pandemic.
Okay, well, I think we've done meningitis. So yeah, just keep yourself abreast of latest sort of health recommendations if there are any.
And just before we go, I just want to just take one moment to say the tragedy of this, that there are young people that have died. I saw one of the headmistresses from one of the girls, and she came out and she read something out, and just absolutely broken-hearted, reading out what a wonderful kid she was, and what this and that, and the whole school is devastated. And oh God, it just gives me goosebumps. It's just, it's just horrible.
Green-eyed girl, you're right. I hadn't thought about this. I suppose the worry is students going home for the Easter break. Yes. I'm right next to Canterbury. Just final comment, and we'll move on. Sarah D. I'm right next to Canterbury and have 2 teenagers. One of the schools here has a confirmed case, and it's really worrying. My 17-year-old cousin also died of it in the 90s. Sarah D.
Oh,
Sarah. I'm so sorry.
So again, that brings it all up for you. It's like, I'm going to ring Lisa later, because as I say, my friend Lisa had it. I think both of her boys were quite young.
They had meningitis?
No, she had it.
Lisa?
Lisa.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I told you that yesterday.
Sorry, babe, I was in a bipolar
No,
hell
yesterday,
yesterday.
day before. I didn't talk to you about it yesterday. Yeah.
No, it didn't go in.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Lisa had it, but she just felt, a bit like when we did get COVID, you just felt it go through your body, didn't you? She just felt that there was something like really serious, because she, with the head, and she said to her husband, get me there now. I think he practically carried her. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, really sorry. Okay, are we happy to move on? Should we move on? Yeah. I just want to just show you some sort of random headlines that kind of popped up over the last couple of days before we move into Donald Trump being more and more isolated, not only by his actions in Iran, but by his ridiculous fucking comments about almost absolutely everything, whether it be Gavin Newsom or whatever. But some of these headlines I don't want to lose. BBC has been accused of breaking the law by failing to say if it made calls to the Israeli embassy. I don't want to lose this. The BBC, on a freedom of information request, the BBC refused to allow access to their records as to whether senior personnel at the BBC were directly in contact with the Israeli embassy. It would, if proven, this would demonstrate the true complicity of the BBC with the Israeli propaganda machine.
So they've refused to say.
They've refused.
But how can you do that if it's a freedom of information?
No, they've broken the law. But is there any appetite to force them to do anything about this? And who will take them to court to reveal the files of whether
what would be their reason? Because they must have had to give a good reason to say why they haven't gone. I mean, it seems very odd,
something
doesn't
to
it?
hide. Environmedia reporting this. So something again that deserves extra attention. And this story really shocked me. Germany secretly financed much of Israel's Dimona nuclear project. And I just found this a remarkable historic story, just briefly. This is a report suggesting that between 1972, or whenever the kind of nuclear stuff was going on in Israel, across time, the West Germany government, through grants and through donations and through various kind of so-called legal channels, supplied money and support and expertise for Israel to build their nuclear arsenal.
Did they know that's what it was for?
And allegedly, yes.
Allegedly.
So Germany secretly. But what strikes me as odd about this, wouldn't it be darkly ironic that in the aftermath of World War I, the reparations imposed on Germany led to the birth of Nazism and then led to World War II. And then in the punishment and hiving into of Germany after World War II, one half of Germany funded and allowed a rogue terrorist state, Israel, to have 90 nuclear warheads that it could hold the rest of the world ransom by. It's kind of like, it all kind of keeps going back to Germany. It's curious, that, isn't it?
Israel still says they don't have any nuclear weapons. Who was it last week who just casually said about their nuclear weapons?
Yeah.
So an American politician, didn't they? Because we always hear, we have never said that we have never said that we have nuclear weapons.
No,
God.
absolutely. So
the irony of it, that Iran is getting blasted over their supposed nuclear weapons.
So I'm just going to play you a couple of clips by Donald Trump, and then we're going to tell you about who Joe Kent is, because Joe Kent is it's a big story. This is Joe Kent's resignation. Trump's counter-terrorism chief has resigned over Iran. But I just want to play you a little moment from Donald Trump.
Out this cancer, it's a cancer. We had to take that operation, and we did, and it was very successful. And it continues. Frankly, as somebody said, they could leave today, and it would take 10 years to rebuild the damage that's been done. But I think we have to make it a little bit more permanent, because no other president has to go through this, and we shouldn't have any other president having to go through this kind of a thing. And if they didn't want to do it, if for some reason they didn't want to do it, would have the same problem. We don't ever want to have that problem again, not with lunatics. You can't have lunatics
lunatics.
controlling nuclear weaponry.
You're the lunatic.
The only lunatic controlling nuclear weaponry, as we've just explained, is Benjamin
And
Netanyahu.
him. And him.
Yeah, absolutely. Trump, obviously, the last time you saw us, we were talking about Trump's fury with NATO. I just want to play another quote. I think things are going to get trickier for the UK, even though some are arguing Starmer's playing a blinder. You think he's playing a blinder, don't you?
No, I don't think he's.
No?
It's not that I think he's playing a blinder. I think that everyone should refuse to get involved in this.
Right.
Everybody has to put a boundary in place with these lunatics.
Yeah. Well, have a listen to this. I do what he's such a vengeful individual.
Really
I just really worry what's coming down the tracks.
Have you got the clip that would go very well with that? The historical clip with him having such a go about the Iranian war and the lies that were told.
Which one?
Is the one where he's in that? It's about from 2018.
Oh no, I haven't got that. No, sorry.
For a long time, this is the greatest thing to come out of this. We spend trillions and trillions of dollars on NATO to defend other countries. And I always said, but if it ever comes time to defend us, they're not going to be there. Many of them would not be there. And we're going to have to start thinking more wisely in this country. Some have been very good. One or two have been great. I'll tell you, the great ones are at the right time. But there have been some that were right up there, Peter. They were right up there. They wanted to do it so much. Go ahead, Peter.
See, the problem here, you see, the issue here is this. If everyone pushed back against Trump, he wouldn't be able to target everyone in the world because immediately the American economy, even with all his heaps of tariffs that have been deemed illegal, wouldn't be able to be effective. So I do actually think, it's rare for me to say this, whilst I was kind of suggesting that's what, I do think Starmer has sensed and spied both two opportunities here. He can appeal to the left of the Labour Party. He can appear to be resisting pressure from Trump. And he's in alignment with numerous other countries that are refusing to help in the Strait of Hormuz. So I do think that's good. The problem, though, is that he is allowing all of our bases to be used for what are called defensive actions. But when you see great big B-52 or B-2 bombers heading off with enormous bombs and missiles attached to them, you sort of ask the question, well, what is defensive? As we know, the term defensive has become much maligned and much misused in recent years.
That's where I just feel like I don't think it saves us from the wrath of Iran, because though he says we're not getting involved in it, that feels involved.
Yeah, I agree.
Is the only place that's truly not involved is Spain?
They're the only ones that have said it so clearly. I mean, Japan,
defensive.
South Korea, everyone else is being sort of tight-lipped and not really going ahead with sort of sending any. I mean, I've never seen a more sort of muted response to someone saying, come and help us in the Strait of Hormuz. Everyone's just kind of like, nah. Well, just whilst I wrangle this clip, which is a really good clip Nadia found historically of Trump saying what he could say about himself, in a sense. I just want to play you this. In this clip, Trump's trying to suggest that it took them all by surprise that Iran hit the Gulf states. I just find this remarkable.
Big deal. I mean, we have to do what we have to do.
Yeah, and you said they hit Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait. Nobody expected that. We were shocked. Are you surprised that nobody briefed you ahead of time that might be their retaliation?
Nobody, no. The greatest experts, nobody thought they were going to hit. They were, I wouldn't say friendly countries. They were like neutral. They lived with them for years. Remember, they got all of those missiles. And I heard they were sending missiles to UAE. I said, that's strange. You know, UAE is like the banker for Iran. They're like the banker. Qatar, their neighbors, they got along okay. Saudi Arabia. All of a sudden, Kuwait is getting hit. Bahrain is getting, all these countries are getting hit. There was no expert that would say that was going to happen. It's not a question of like, gee, should you have known? And if we did know, big deal. I mean, we have to do what we have to do.
Oh, big deal.
What big deal?
Anyway, even if we didn't know, nothing was going to stop us doing what we're doing. Nothing.
But it's such a ludicrous argument, even but in his contorted, flabby-minded
Sick
way,
mind.
is that everyone knew Iran was going to attack the Gulf states because Iran said we're going to attack all of the American bases in the Gulf states.
They just thought they were going to smash, like proper bully boys. We're going to go in there, we're going to smash their faces in, and they're going to be crying with snotty noses within 3 or 4 days and begging us for a ceasefire. He just went in with
Yeah,
that. Hubris.
He genuinely thought it was all going to go well. Well, let's just play this historic quote from Trump, just to show how far he has moved on from. Where's it gone? Hang on a second, sorry.
I love these. What is it they say? The internet never forgets. Yeah. Look at this.
She was going to really look to impeach Bush and get him out of office, which personally I think would have been a wonderful thing.
Impeaching him?
Absolutely, for the war. For the war.
Because of the conduct of the
war.
He
lied. He got us into the war with lies. And, I mean, look at the trouble Bill Clinton got into with something that was totally unimportant. And they tried to impeach him, which was nonsense. And yet Bush got us into this horrible war with lies, by lying, by saying they had weapons of mass destruction, by saying all sorts of things that turned out not to be true.
Good God. They lied.
I mean, someone should play that to him. Weapons of mass distraction. That's what they should have called them. And that's what they should call the nuclear, oh God.
That's right, Tanya. He does think he's the emperor of the world.
He really does.
Him saying now that he fancies Cuba, I've never seen anything more dictatorial in my life than that clip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, that would be coming up.
I just want to, let me just share. So let's share with you the big story. Trump's terror.
Oh, well, what about that guy?
Counter-terror chief off the back of this resigns over Iran. Trump's counter-terrorism chief, whose own wife was killed by ISIS. Let that sink in. Whose own wife was killed by ISIS in the Iraq war, quits over Iran war, saying Tehran posed no imminent threat. This is Joe Kent. This is the guy,
big MAGA guy.
Yeah, who's resigned. This was his post that accompanied his letter. After much reflection, I've decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counter-Terrorism Center effective today. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. He then goes on to say, it's been an honor serving under the president and leading the professionals at the National Counter-Terrorism Center.
And he went on, when he said that he couldn't send couldn't be a part of sending young people out, which I found that so moving. I don't know whether that was a separate interview. And I just thought, my God, there's somebody with a conscience thinking of these soldiers, and it's going to end up being a ground invasion just for bloody Smeg Smith's war porn addiction.
Yes.
And his conscience won't allow it. Yeah. Pointless deaths.
So I just want one of the guys from the news agents, I forget his name. He gives us some sort of more detail on the significance of this. This is Lewis Goodall. Yeah, Goodall. Yeah, this is it's a significant resignation. This.
Nation from within the Trump administration over the war itself. This is Joe Kent, who is the director, or was until this morning, the director of national intelligence, so a political appointee from the Trump administration, saying that after much reflection, I have decided to resign from my position as director of the national counter-terrorism sector effective today. And this is the kicker, Sheila. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. That line there that will now be repeated by 1,000 opponents of the Trump administration. I cannot in good conscience support the war. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. That is coming from a Trump administration official. This is a big moment, I think, in terms of the politics of the war in the United States.
Could Iran, the war that he started in Iran, could it be his downfall?
Well, plenty of American presidents throughout history, Sheila, have had a long history and pedigree of finding their presidencies not ended, but ruined by foreign conflicts. All of them find that these conflicts and these wars are easy to start, and you think they're going to be simple. And in the end, they don't end the way that you think they do, or they don't end at all, even under your watch.
I think what's really interesting, will Iran be Trump's downfall? YouTube says no. I think it could be, personally. I think it really could be, especially when you think the extent to which Israel, Netanyahu, etc., and out literally hiding in the corridors, aren't they? They're hiding behind the curtains, not coming out, too afraid to come out. This has all been triggered by Israel. And I do think, if you don't mind, I just want to play this very brief clip. Daniel Levy, ex-Israeli negotiator, in interview with Owen Jones, just talks a little bit about what might be the metric that Israel is operating on here. And what you have to understand is Israel is only interested in itself, whereas America has been lulled through finance into this idea that America first also has to mean Israel first. In fact, Israel first comes above America first. For Netanyahu and the Israeli regime, it is Israel first and first alone. It would suit Israel that the American empire or American dominance in the world started to fall apart. Israel doesn't care. Israel does not care about America. This is the most bizarre part of all of it, which is why it speaks to either finances that's bought over the politicians or compromat, i.e. the Epstein files. But this is just a very measured and interesting insight into what could be behind Netanyahu's decision to join this or start this. I think that's entirely the calculation. I think he's absolutely hit the nail on the head. I think America is, in a sense, Israel's human shield. And Trump, because they have compromat on Trump was the willing president.
And squeeze everything out of him.
Yeah.
Have you got the other MAGA woman that's also turned against?
Yes.
And then we mustn't forget the journalist. Not the journalist. Oh God, who is he? The guy that was in on the negotiations.
Okay, well, just before we move then over to her, I wanted him off the bat. Just to kind of, so alongside the head of Trump's counterterrorism team resigning because he feels Israel dragged them into an illegal war, this guy, UK security advisor, attended US-Iran talks and judged a deal was within reach. So this guy here is Powell, what's his name? Jonathan Powell. He's our national security advisor, and he was in attendance at the talks that you remember Witkoff and Jared Kushner were having with Iran.
Don't forget, Witkoff is Trump's best friend and a real estate guy who was negotiating with Iran with Trump's son-in-law, who has absolutely no knowledge in any of this and wasn't voted into his position. And apparently says he has a very deep knowledge of the nuclear situation. Apparently people came out of that meeting just shocked at how they both spoke.
This guy was horrified. He was horrified. I mean, this gives us a slightly more. The UK's national security advisor, Jonathan Powell, regarded Witkoff and Kushner, the president's son-in-law, as Israeli assets, bent on dragging the US into a war with Iran for Israel. Now, do you remember how I played last week the predictive history guy? And he was saying, just when he was asked about Jared Kushner, he was like, he suggested, take the sexual blackmail honey trap aspect away. Jared Kushner is today's Epstein. It's just all his fingers reach into all the business deals and the real estate deals.
Money that he's made since Trump got in. And of course, he's married to Trump's daughter. And what's happened to her? Yeah. She's gone very straight.
So this is major news. I mean, so again, now the problem I think we have to remember, and we'll go to the MAGA, but this is a really good journalist or woman MAGA influencer was she, or politician, who's kind of turned coats also on Trump. My worry always with Trump, and this is a worry, is that the more and more he feels isolated, the more and more one worries what he will do next.
Exactly. But you can't back him into a corner, can you?
So, with his first resignation, with the head of national security here in the UK, there was another interview with Donald Trump, I don't think I've got it, where he was talking about, having to go, Starmer said to him that I need to go off and talk to my team. And Trump was like, what do you mean you need to go and talk to your team? Who talks to your team? That's the level of autocracy and dictatorship we've got going on with him.
Did you get this one? We should play this one first of her.
I've got all three. So
play this first. So
what's her name again?
She's called Carrie Prejean. And she's known Trump for, I don't know, 20 years or something. And she, what was her job?
It says it just there.
Religious Liberty Commission. She was in that, and she recently was sacked. And apparently we don't know anything about this one, but apparently this is a massive deal that they sacked her. And they sacked her because of what she was saying about Israel. She'd been warned multiple times, apparently, not to mention Israel. And she said, well, She said things like, well, if you don't mention Gaza, or I won't mention Israel. They told her not to post anything, and that got her sacked. So this is
carelessly labeling people anti-Semites. Catholic Christianity does not in any way require you to embrace Zionism as a fulfilled prophecy. So what I've heard today is that if you don't support Zionism, you are an anti-Semite. I'm a Catholic, and Catholics do not embrace Zionism, just so you know. So are all Catholics anti-Semites, according to you?
As I said, anti-Zionism.
So just to be clear, are Catholics anti-Semites?
I'm going to interrupt the discussion. Our committee is focused on religious liberty taken from all people.
Right, but we're talking about a foreign nation, so I want to be clear on what the definition of anti-Semitism is. I don't support the political state of Israel. Am I an anti-Semite? Yes or no?
They already answered. Asked and answered.
According to you, on the record, yes? I don't agree with that, because as a Catholic, I don't agree that the new modern state of Israel has any biblical prophecy meaning at all. So that's my stance.
And I'm Catholic, she says. Just moving on to a second clip.
this is the one with her on Piers.
So this is her on Piers.
Amy Pierce. I've been a loyal supporter of the president for almost 20 years. This goes back to when I was 21 years old and I was Miss California at the Miss USA pageant. And I've known him. I consider him a dear friend. And I will tell you right now, I do not recognize our president. I think that we are an occupied nation. I think that a foreign country has occupied our government. And we are seeing now that this president of the United States of America is being influenced by a foreign government. And MAGA, let me tell you right now, MAGA is dead. It is deader than dead, and Americans are furious. We do not recognize President Donald J. Trump anymore.
Polling still shows pretty strong support amongst the MAGA base for Trump and this attack. So how do you explain that?
No, I do not believe that one bit. I talk to MAGA people all day long, every day. And the everyday average American is absolutely against this war. And they know that the only reason why we are even in Iran right now is because of Israel. We see Benjamin Netanyahu coming to our country more than any other foreign government, any other foreign nation. He's been here almost 8 times. This is embarrassing. We are the United States of America. Why are we allowing a foreign country to occupy our government? And now we see I was removed from a religious liberty commission because I dared to speak out against Israel. It's no longer a conspiracy, Pierce. What Israel wants, Israel gets. And we're witnessing that. And I'm telling you right now, MAGA is dead. And we will not vote for one more politician who lies to us and says, oh, we're going to drain the swamp and we're going to not get involved in foreign wars. Trump has betrayed our country. And he has betrayed MAGA, and people are livid.
I just want to circle that back to Daniel Levy's assessment. And I think, you know, Netanyahu and the fascist regime of Israel, that's what they are, a fascist regime of Israel, extreme terrorist Zionist supporting fascist regime of Israel, knows only too well they've lost America. They know that all the polling in America suggests that people under the age of 50 have had enough of it. All of the polling around the world amongst younger populations is anti the Zionist project. So they're going for broke. We are now in the final chapters either of Israel or the Middle East, because I think Trump will potentially have to pull out. I mean, just yesterday, the announcement was that one of their 2 massive aircraft carriers has had to retreat, go to Crete, because there's allegedly so much unrest on board with the crew. That they think that some of the crew members have set fire to some of the toilets and sanitation provision on the ship. So they're taking it to Crete to instill, but not to correct it for the crew, but to instigate an investigation.
So they've been there for 10 months, and they were told that they were going to be there until end of May at least.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's just shocking. And just to sort of remind ourselves that whilst on the one hand, we might think, oh, Starmer, at least he's not, you know, jumping and dancing to Donald Trump's tune. But I just want to show you just very briefly, I'm not going to go into the detail of this, but go to Canary UK, because they posted this carousel yesterday just to remind us that the Zionist influence in Westminster is extreme. They talk about quadrature capital, which made a £4 million donation to Labour, one of the largest donations in British political history. And Quadrature Capital is a hedge fund company that invests in Israeli military. So that's the biggest donor to Labour at the last election. Trevor Chin, another donor, he runs a pro-Israel organisation such as the Joint Israel Appeal and Labour Friends of Israel. He's been lobbying on behalf of Israel within the Labour Party for years. And then look at this. Zionists fund Labour. Starmer's top cabinet has received a total of £300,000 in pro-Israel donations. Starmer, 50 grand from pro-Israel donor Trevor Chin. Yvette Cooper, 50 to 75,000. Lammy, 32,000. Wes Streeting, 30,000.
So could this be what, you remember when we got the text from Wes Streeting to Mandelson saying that they know that it's war crimes, they know that Israel is committing war crimes. Let's not forget that WhatsApp message that he actually posted out for us all. Could there be any money involved in why they're not saying? I mean, I'm just, maybe I'm being facetious, but
maybe.
I mean, could there be any connection with that? Could there be any connection with Starmer saying, yeah, no, we can turn off the water, you can turn off the water? Could there be any connections?
Well, if you're taking money.
And the money.
If you're taking money.
Cooper and Palestine Action, all of that. I mean, could any of this be involved because there's money changing hands? Probably not. I think there's a huge hypothetical possibility of this. I suppose
it strikes me that if most of your top brass in your cabinet are receiving tens of thousands of pounds from lobby groups for a country that's committed a genocide and started an illegal war against Iran, and is still committing a genocide
and started a new one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that suggests that your government, however silent and non-complicit they are with Trump in this current stage of the Iran war, they're complicit enough.
They could be.
They could be.
They could be.
It doesn't look good on a resume.
Not looking great. Anyone else got an opinion on that? What is that telling you in your water?
Yeah, exactly.
God help us all.
Yeah.
God help us all.
So let's move on because we're already at 57 minutes.
Anyone joined the Green Party yet?
Anyone joined? Yeah. Have you joined the Green Party? Okay, let's move to the man behind all of this. The man literally behind the arrest, like the Wizard of Oz. Controlling everyone and everything. Benjamin Netanyahu, who thinks he's dead. I'm now going to play you the clip that they uploaded yesterday of him walking through corridors with Mike Huckabee, US ambassador to Israel.
Pause 1 minute. Chris there, who posted it a few times, did make me laugh, said, if Netanyahu is dead, does that mean America no longer has a president?
Well, it's a good question. It's a good question. Who's running America? Who's running America if old Benjamin Netanyahu is no longer there? So this is the first, and have a look at this. This is them trying to really show us that he's alive.
Sir, I wanted you to know the president asked me to come and make sure you were okay.
Yes, Mike. Yes, I'm alive.
I checked that, and I'm happy to see that. But he wanted to make sure because, you know, you guys get along too well.
I know, and we shake hands with 5 fingers in each hand. You know, but I have to tell you, I'm alive, but I have this card.
Oh.
And, yeah, don't read it. So it's a punch card.
Mm-hmm.
Today I erased 2 names on the punch cards.
I erased.
And you see how many more to go on this batch.
You know what the good news is? My name is not on the punch card.
Oh my God!
Your name is on the list of the good guys.
Thank you.
And
wow.
What the president, the U.S. forces
wow.
Are doing is incredible. We're very proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with them. And getting rid of these lunatics who would like to develop nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them to every American city after wiping out Israel. They ain't going to do that. We're wiping them out.
I love it. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Good to see you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks. Take care.
This is how fucked we are. That showing a card with
a punch
names.
Card with names. I've eliminated 2 of them. I've got more to eliminate. Don't look. You're not on the list. You're on the good list.
I found it
you're on the good
the
list.
way he said he's not on the list.
Absolutely, Mike Huckabee. You
and
have
Mike
to walk
Huckabee
along.
couldn't get up his arse any further. If you can still be on the list, but when you're that, when your head is shoved
like a suppository
right up in the arse, sucking on the appendix, And you can
sucking
still
on the appendix.
you're on the good list, but who knows how long you can be on the good list. Is not everybody chilled to the fucking bone with
not
that?
only chilled to the bone, but that was their. It's been
But that's
proven.
them
Lots of places
proving-
are saying it's AI. Lots of places are saying it's AI. I'm going to show you a close up of his hand when he goes in for the handshake.
Who's released this?
Benjamin Netanyahu. It's on his
It's
X.
on his
it's
X.
on his X account. Just because it's on his X account doesn't mean it's real.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
No.
I'm saying, is it an AI like the
Well,
golden?
look, as soon as this uploads, you're going to see a close up of him shaking his hand. Watch the forefinger of Netanyahu's hand. I've got to kill the music as soon as it lands, but have a look at this. So watch the forefinger on the hand coming in. It repeats. So watch that forefinger as it goes to it disappears.
Oh. But do you know what? Hang on a minute, Mark. If these are AI videos, the greatest armies in the world, the most moral armies in the world, the most brilliant people ever, they're just so clever and they're just so clever. But would they not be going over these videos with a fine-tooth comb and looking for any blurry bits?
But wow. Well, that's why let me just play you this one. And then I want to play you a clip from Greg Stoker talking about this. This is really interesting. We're hitting a really interesting existential AI flecked nightmare. That's where we're at right now. We're enthralled to something that I think is beginning to work for Israel. The unknowability around this place.
Yes.
I just want to stress this, by the way. I don't think he's dead at all. I just think all of these are being done to not show the coordinates of where he is. He's that scared. He's that much of a...
And you know why they're that scared? Because they can find people on the toilet and kill them.
Yes.
So hence, let's go back.
Israel's
Down whole buildings
Yes.
when you know very well that you have the technology to go, okay, we're not going to kill that person, we're going to kill that person.
Precisely.
So he must be terrified of his own success.
And I think so. I know a lot of people going, oh, it's proof that none of this is proof that he's dead at all.
No.
It's total proof that he's a fucking lily-livered, yellow-bellied coward. He's squeaking and he's screaming and he's squirming and he's hiding. And he doesn't want to reveal where he is. That's all it says to me. And that's why but now I think there's a tipping point here where they're actually quite enjoying the speculation about whether these are real or not.
Oh my God.
with Israel's defense minister, our chief of staff, the head of the Mossad, the chief of Air Force, our senior commanders. In the past 24 hours, we knocked out 2 of the terrorist chieftains, the top terrorist chieftains of this tyranny. Our aircraft are hitting the terror operatives on the ground, in the crossroads, in the city squares. This is meant to enable the brave people of Iran to celebrate the Festival of Fire. So celebrate and Happy Nowruz. We're watching from above.
We're watching from above. What a chilling detail. Celebrate your celebration, and we're watching from above. He's so malevolent. He's so evil. Even his AI avatar and his fucking deep fake version of him is as evil and embodies all the evil and nastiness of it.
But Mark, the impunity, they just don't even see how this comes across.
So Mo Hamza
so
has
chilling.
uploaded this, which I think is a really, really good clip. Let me just play you this. If I can find it.
My God.
Just
My
1 second.
God. I'm shocked.
Yeah, here we go. Check this out.
Here we go again. Honestly, I only do these videos because I enjoy playing games like Where's Waldo, Spot the Difference, and What's Wrong with This Picture. And simply because I love making Israel look stupid. So let's get right to it. Let's take a look at those vents on their tables. Pay close attention. You able to spot the differences? Let's go back real quick. Here are the vents in front of Netanyahu versus the other vents across the rest of the tables. It's a completely different vent, and the wood panel color is completely different. Here's another angle that makes it even more obvious. This whole area actually makes no sense, considering there's an unnatural crack in the middle of the Netanyahu vent panels, as if they're cabinets, when that's not what they are. And then here's a regular phone versus whatever the hell this is in front of Netanyahu. And then there's the fact that no one is even looking at or acknowledging Netanyahu while he's speaking. And the fact that Netanyahu's face is abnormally brighter than the rest of the people in that dark-ass room they're in. And then there's the chairs, where everyone's leather chair has a distinct curve at the top, but not Netanyahu. His leather chair is straight at the top. But who knows, maybe he gets a special chair. And lastly, let's zoom in on that hand to see if he can magically make his ring disappear again. Well, there you have it. No ring right here. And then just a few seconds later, poof, there's the ring again. Anyways, Israel's desperation is palpable. Here's a message to Netanyahu, alive or dead. How about you take that flight over to the US to give that fat Cheeto of yours some loving and for some outside journalist to verify your existence? Because from where we're looking, it's looking like you're screaming from 6 feet under.
Oh, God. Can we have a funny, please?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I don't think he's dead. I just think he's a very naughty boy, and I think he's underground in a bunker.
I wasn't say very naughty boy.
No, I'm being sarcastic.
No.
Okay, so this is. Do you want to? What's his name again?
Godfrey Comic. If you want to follow him, you must follow him. He's so funny.
Dr. Dre. He's a real doctor. He's a really good doctor. I have some good doctors. I never met a doctor that made beats. Never made it before. I don't know if he went to medical school, but I'm going to tell you right now, this guy has the best music. I love NWA.
Bro, I'm not doing this. No.
Negroes with attitudes.
We're not doing this.
He's a Negro with a great attitude. I love this guy. He's one of my favorite black producers. You're so great. You're so amazing. I swear to God, all your music. The G thing is my favorite. You got to do a T thing, a Trump thing. You know?
I did not approve this message.
I love this guy, Dr. Dre.
Very funny. And then we've got another one from him here.
Yeah, two more, I think.
This one.
Oh, I just love him.
He's messed up his suit. That suit was expensive.
You about to bust out of it. Shut up.
Got my name in it.
Where is it?
What, your name is in the suit?
Look, he can barely read it because it's tight. You like...
Stop it.
He was like this. He was like this. I'm too. You was like this. He was like, I'm too. Man, wait, hold up. Oh, there it is. I'm too. Why are you making fun of my weight? You're like this. Burlington Coat Factory. Men's Warehouse. All right, you gotta set a straight.
Excuse me, this makeup was expensive. Please do not make me cry it off. Thank you. Paid real money.
It's such a good podcast. You should watch the whole thing. Their vibe is brilliant. They talk about so many different things. Have you got the one with her at the end?
Got one other clip here, yeah. Just one sec. Just trying to find it.
Oh, God, what's her name again?
Just bear with me 1
She's
second.
a journalist, isn't she? Let me just
Love
find
the
the
laughs.
name.
Yeah,
of
it's nice, isn't it, to have some laughter. Here's one last one.
Here we are, Joy Weed. Look at her. There she is. Fake news. Can you believe it? Just had an interview with her. It was so fantastic. She was asking me good questions because usually they're so terrible. Joy Reid, had to get her off TV. I couldn't stand her. I had to get rid of these black reporters. But here she is. She has her own show and she's back with her bullshit again. Can you believe it? Look at her. We're looking at immigrants make America great. I hate you so much. But I had to be on her show because I'm a social media whore. That's why. But look at Joy Weed. She's just so happy. Look at, she thinks she's smart. She went to Harvard. She got so lucky. I'm surprised. It had to be DEI. I'm sure it was. Look at her. Oh, I'm sorry. But anyway, Joy Reid, look at her. Come on. Fake news.
He does that, doesn't it? She got so lucky.
Yeah,
She got so lucky.
Funny.
But in the podcast, she was talking about, he does this really weird, she goes, what about when he goes into his like Marilyn Monroe way of speaking? And he goes all breathy.
He goes breathy and coquettish. I've noticed that Netanyahu has a coquettish mode as well. It's very strange. It's sort of flirtatious.
He does a great impression.
Utterly fucking repulsive.
He does a great impression of Obama as well. He does Obama in interview, which is very different from Obama when he's like speaking to us. It's funny, very funny guy.
I'm just going to leave you with this, just this headline, which is just beyond shocking. We've done funny. Israel closes the tomb of Christ. This is how biblical and arrogant and entitled Israel is. They've closed the tomb of Christ indefinitely for the first time in the history of Christianity. Holy Week and Easter services will be prohibited. Sunday services cancelled. Church leaders call emergency meeting. Imagine if you cancelled anything for anyone in Israel. They've cancelled Easter. Israel have cancelled Easter. So this
now, how's that going to work with very Christian America?
I'm sure Mike Huckabee is delighted. because he's now not on the good list. He's on the good list. He's not on the...
Well, don't forget, his arse is up. His head is up his arse, sucking on his appendix.
That's an astonishingly vivid image that we're going to leave you with.
Love you. Hit the subscribe button, please. And if you've taken anything from this video, please hit the like